What's up, my beautiful family? It's High Energy Tuesday. Let's go. Today's topic, the vultures you invite. The other day I was taking a drive, and as I'm taking a drive, I passed by and I saw some turkey vultures that were devouring a carcass. And I didn't think too much about it at the time, but I kept driving. And as I kept driving, about 5 minutes down the road, I saw another set of turkey vultures that were devouring another carcass, a different carcass. And at that point in time, I began to wonder, I began to explore, what kind of message does this have? What kind of impact does this have on how we move throughout our own lives? And I came upon the idea that it's about the vultures that we invite in our life. It's about the things that we allow to die over time, because vultures, they can smell a dead carcass from over a mile away. Vultures only feed on dead things. And so as we move through life, I had to reflect and I had to wonder, what are the things that I left behind? What are the things that I didn't give enough attention to? Because there are certain ways that death comes about. And some ways, one of those ways is neglect. One of those ways is abandonment. One of those ways is just being in the wrong environment. One of those ways is not speaking into it. So I had to look at, okay, well, what are the things that breathe life? Affirmation, hope. Those are the things that breathe life. And so as we look at the many things that we're doing in life, what our goals are, what our aspirations are, what do we want our legacy to be in the future? I had to look at, okay, well, what are the things that you're not giving enough attention to? What are the things you're not speaking life into? What are the things you're not giving enough hope to? Because as you give neglect, abandonment, and you say, hey, I'm going to put it on the shelf and get back to it at another time, that is inviting death. And so what are the vultures that you invite into your life by the things that you neglect? What are the vultures that you invite into your life by speaking death onto it and not giving it hope, not giving it the faith that it deserves? And then how do you move towards that? Because we all know that even if you have hope or faith, there's got to be an action that follows, because our life will act in behavior what we're really trying to achieve, or what we believe, what's in our heart. And so where's our faith? Where's our hope? Where is the thing that we're trying to reach to? And how is our behavior following that? Because if we're not giving it what it needs, then we're giving it neglect. We're giving it abandonment. If we're speaking doubt into it, we're speaking the opposite. So we're giving it death. We're inviting death to our dreams, our goals, our aspirations. And so what are the vultures that you invite into your life? I had to visit this because I have some of my own experiences where I invited death. I have my own experiences where I neglected my own dreams, where I neglected my own hopes, where I just said, you know what? My faith stops here, and I decided to just stop doing the thing I should be doing in the first place. I stopped reaching. I stopped moving, and I invited death. So what are the things that you stop doing in order to attain your goals? So I had to get back to a place where I could say, you know what? I'm no longer going to neglect the things that need attention. I'm no longer going to just ignore those things. I'm not going to live in a place of doubt, because doubt is a killer as well. I had to get to a place where I can believe in the hope and the faith, and I can have my behaviors and my actions follow that. And I had to say, okay, what feeds hope? What feeds affirmation? What feeds faith? It's the things that you do every single day. Even when it's hard to see it, it's continuing to make progress. It's continuing to move through the tunnel. It's continuing to believe. Because not all tunnel vision is bad vision. Sometimes we have to get to a place where we can just focus, laser focus on something, pinpoint something, so we can make progress. Where we can get to a place where we can ignore the doubt. We can ignore the things that people are speaking that aren't supportive or positive towards what we know in our heart we should be doing. Sometimes it's important to move through the tunnel and then get to the other side of that tunnel, because sometimes that tunnel is the only place we can prevent inviting the vultures. It's a place where we can focus and give attention to what's important, because as I'm driving through the tunnel, guess what? I'm focused on that road. I'm focused on staying in that one lane. I'm focused on the cars that are moving forward and beside me. I'm focused on getting to the other side of that tunnel, but I'm not neglecting what I should be doing in the moment. I'm giving it my attention. I'm giving it life, and I believe that I'm going to make it through to the other side. But my actions are following that. And as my actions are following that, guess what? The vultures aren't smelling death. The vultures aren't flying in from a mile away, because I'm giving attention to what needs attention at the time. I'm giving the right focus and energy, and I'm applying steps and action towards it for a positive outcome. So what are the things that you neglected? What are the things that you abandoned? Because when you abandon something, when you neglect something, you're inviting death. You're inviting the vultures. When you give doubt to an ideal, when you give doubt to something that you believe in with all of your core, with your gut, you're inviting the vultures. And so take a look at your life. Take a look at the things that you're doing in life. Take a look at the place you're in life, and ask yourself that question: have I invited any vultures? And if you have, it's not too late. It's not too late. You can still breathe life back into it, but it has to change with what you say through your mouth. It has to change with what you believe in your heart. That's where the change starts. And then when the change starts there, guess what? Now you start to see it. Now you start getting the confirmation, because your actions are moving towards the thing that you should be doing. And this isn't just a professional goals thing. I'm talking about personal relationships as well. What are the vultures that you invite? Whether that's your marriage, whether that's a friendship, whether that's a partnership, what are the vultures that you invite? Are you giving that relationship the attention that it needs? Are you giving that person what they need in that relationship in order to thrive? Are you providing the right atmosphere and environment? Are you creating that? Are you fostering that? Because that's where it should be nurtured. That's where you give hope. That's where you give life. And if you're not doing that, you have to ask yourself, what are the vultures that I invite? And so as we move on to this next week, we're not inviting any more vultures. We're clearly laying out what our goals are, what our aspirations are, what we believe in, what we hope for. We're clearly laying that out. I want you to write it down, keep a note of it, make it real so you can see it. Because if you can see it, then you can start making progress. That can become the end of the tunnel for you if you can see it and you can believe it, and you can make steps accordingly. You can create a plan to get there, and you can take back the invite from the vultures. You can tell the vultures, you're not welcome today, because I'm not giving death to that thing that God spoke in my heart years ago. I'm giving it life. And the things I'm talking about from experience. I remember years ago, I began walking away from my own dreams. I stopped believing. Doors were closing all around me. Things were happening with my health, with my personal relationships in life, professional relationships in life, and I stopped believing, and I started the self-doubt. I started giving depth to the things around me, and I remember I got to a place where I got stuck on a scripture, Proverbs 18:21. The power of life and death is in the tongue. And that gave me a new start. That gave me a new opportunity, because I began speaking positive things into the environment around me. I began speaking positive things no matter what the scenario or situation was. And as I began to do that, as I began these positive affirmations, I started to believe that maybe the opportunity wasn't dead for my dreams. Maybe there will be another opportunity. And then I began to put a plan in place once I thought that there was another way. And then step by step, I made progress. Step by step, I continued to speak life. Step by step, I continued to believe. Step by step, I continued to make progress. No matter what doors are closing, no matter what doors are opening, because sometimes there is a door that's open that you're not supposed to walk through. We talked about that last week. Not every door that God uses you to open is meant for you to walk through. Sometimes there's a door that's open that you open, but maybe your job is to go open the next one and open the next one. But whatever that is, don't lose the faith. Don't lose the hope. Continue to speak life. Continue to play on those positive affirmations. Any hard moments that you go through, try to find a point of growth, because when it comes to life itself, yes, every season of life is a stage of growth. It's all in perspective. People think that certain seasons you're not supposed to grow. Certain seasons you're supposed to just melt away. But let me tell you something, that you still continue to grow in other ways. Because even when the leaves aren't blooming on a tree, guess what's happening? Those roots are getting strong. Even when the seed isn't growing in that season, guess what? That soil is getting rich. There's always a point of growth no matter what the season is in life. Don't think that you have to go through a dead season. You just have to find the right perspective. Okay, what part of me is growing in this season? Because you're always growing, whether that's mentally, emotionally, socially, spiritually, physically. You're always in a place of growth. You should always see yourself in stages of growth. And so search for what that growth is, because that becomes your positive confirmation. That then turns into your affirmation. That feeds into your hope. That feeds into your faith. That feeds into your plan as you make progress and move forward. So no matter what the season is, it's a season of growth. That's a mindset change. That's a transformation in how you see things. That's a transformation in how you speak about the things that are taking place all around you. But that's where it begins. And I'm telling you, this is real for me, because as I saw these vultures, because I was like, I felt like I was running for something. I was like, what is happening right now? But I had invited vultures into my life. But guess what? You got the power to send a disinvite. You got the power to shut the door. You got the power to get in the tunnel and get back focused. You got the power to get back on the horse and start riding again. You got the power to change that. You got the power to transform that with your thoughts. But it starts with your words and what you believe in your heart. And it starts with what you're seeing. So write it down. Make it plain. Make it simple. Look at it every day. If you have to put it on your mirror, if you have to put it in your vehicle, if you have to put it on your refrigerator, wherever you have to put it, write it down and make it plain so you can see that, hey, there's something on the other side. And then let your behaviors confirm that. Let your actions confirm that. And continue to make progress. Continue to move forward and disinvite those vultures. They're not welcome here. No more. They got to go feed on another dead carcass somewhere else, because they won't find death anywhere around here. It's High Energy Tuesday. Let's go.